Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Edgehill.
And today we're finding love.
Or maybe we're just going to Waffle House.
So check your emails.
And meet me at the Ferris wheel.
Because today we're bringing you...
The Love Side.
You've Got Mail.
We're not bringing you You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
I mean, the check your emails part threw me off. Love, Simon. Okay. Love, Simon was released on March 16th, 2018, just 452 days ago, which is like a weird amount of time. It's hard for me to fathom March of last year.
Just over a year ago, yeah.
Just over a year ago. On a $17 million budget, it made $66 million worldwide, got a 92% critic rating, 88% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 72 on Metacritic. But more important than all of that, for week 2 of Pride Month, we're joined by none other than everyone's favorite guest, and quite possibly, sorry Seamus, the most requested guest to come back on this show.
Oh my god. What?
Vegard.
Is that real? Is that real?
Yes.
I swear to it is like daily. When's Vegard coming back on your show? It's like,
well, I appreciate that. Well, hello, I'm back.
We're so glad to have you back.
Yay, I'm so excited.
I'm really interested to hear your take on American high school, being gay in American high school, and like all of the above, because I have no idea what it's like in Norway.
Oh, yeah, well, I can definitely talk to that as well.
I want all of it.
The thing is, I don't even know what I think it's like in Norway. Like, I don't even have a guess.
I also want to talk about Ethan and I's experience with gay in high school. Not
with gay.
With gay. Well, it's like that means something totally different than like Ethan and I's gay experience in high school, right?
There's no good way to get around that sentence.
Maybe with sexuality. I don't know.
That's probably
gay.
It's probably a better way to put it.
Our experience with gay.
Our experience.
That guy we went to high school with named Gay.
Yes. Oh.
That's how our government teacher taught it. Actually, he would call people like the blacks and the gays and the Muslims. What? Oh yeah. Welcome to Virginia.
Oh, that is something else.
Yeah. I was pondering that this morning. I was thinking to myself, I was like, we really only had like the one token gay kid in our graduating class.
Oh.
Like we had the Ethan, right, from the movie, not Ethan from the podcast.
That's going to get confusing here during this episode.
Yep.
But we had like the Ethan from the movie, and like as far as I can remember, Ethan, correct me if I'm wrong, that hasn't changed from the 200 people we graduated with.
I mean, I don't keep that good tabs on 180 of those people, so...
Wait, you had 180 people in one class?
Well, class means like everyone your age at that school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So, like, we graduated with 200 other people that were our age.
And no one else has come out as gay.
I think there was a girl.
I'm relatively certain there have been several of the female variety who have
come out since then.
Female variety.
Yeah, who have decided that they also are more interested in females than males.
But I can't think of another guy.
Well, there was the guy that's now had full gender reassignment surgery.
That person was our friend, and they're not our friend now because of that. We just grew apart because we all went to different colleges.
Yeah, because they moved to Ohio.
Right.
Well, I feel like, obviously I was a much smaller class, but like, I think I was the only gay person, and I don't think there have been any more. I feel like, am I sure in that? Yeah, for my, like, class, I think I was the only one. Because obviously I come from like a really small town in Norway, so like there's 20,000 people here, and I think the Pride Parade last year we were 1,000 people max. I think that was like the high number they said, but yeah, it's very small here as well.
That's a very high number, though.
Like our town wouldn't have 1,000 people.
If you live in a town of 20,000 people and you have 1,000 people at your Pride Parade, like that's a solid outturn. turnout?
Oh yeah, I mean it's really good. Well, that was the second year last year, so I feel like that's why. I think also the fact that it is new brings a lot of people as well. So yeah, but it's very strange. Like here, I feel like people in like a bigger city in Norway would have a different experience that I would.
Hold on. So like, wait. So you said you were the only gay person in your class. Are you the only gay person in town? Is the Pride Parade just like a Vegard parade?
I mean, I would have that. No, I'm kidding.
I have the most wild like image going through my head right now.
I mean, well, there's a bunch of, like, obviously, I feel like the older generation, there's a lot more open people, but there's not really a lot, like, in comparison to, for example, also, there's, like, the Pride Parade's huge, whereas here, it's, like, I mean, I feel like I was one of the first people to be very, like, out in my school, and I feel like now it's more accepted, now more people are coming out, so I don't think there's, like, a lack of people being gay here. I think it's more of, like, people not coming forward. So yeah, there is quite a few people, but
yeah, I mean that's
been the
case for a long time. Is it like it's not that they didn't exist, it's that nobody wanted to say anything because the world was awful.
And I mean, like in the Pride Parade, I assume 90% of the people there are supporters rather than actual gay people here. Whereas in another city, it might be just mostly LGBT people. So that's where I think
a Pride Parade in our city.
I don't think so. We might.
I'm sure there is a festival or some celebration.
I know there's a bar in town, like specifically
a gay bar,
like gay bar, and that place is popping every single night.
Yeah.
Like there is like a
gay
line
bar,
out the door.
A gay bar owned by a guy, or at least used to be. I'm not sure if it still is. A gay bar that at least used to be owned by a guy who absolutely hated gays.
What?
Yeah, so I guess the gays in town just made it their mission to just sort of like ruin this dude's day, because he kept trying to close it, and it would reopen, and he would be like, "This isn't a gay bar anymore," and the gays were like, "Actually, it is."
I love that. That is the gay agenda. I feel like. Perfect. I mean,
yeah, it's if there is a gay agenda, that can be it.
Yes.
So before we dive too much deeper into all of our experiences, let's get into a binary review on Love, Simon, and let's talk a little bit about this film. Now, binary reviews on Bacon and Eggs brought to you by none other than Carlin Brothers Coffee, the greatest coffee in the whole wide world. It is pride friendly. It is gay friendly. It is anti-hate altogether. Really, is the way that it works. I mean, it's the best coffee there is. It comes cold. It comes hot.
Okay, it does not come cold. Let's be extremely real here. If you ordered the cold brew and you try to just whip it out of the box that it came to you in June, you're gonna have a bad time.
You might have a bad time, but it comes prepared, like comes ready to be chilled, comes ready to be heated. I guess it doesn't come hot either.
Oh, it comes hot. It comes.
I mean,
hot.
It's not like this piping cup of Ozark coffee thing I have right here. Ethan, are you drinking a Coca-Cola? It's 8 a.m.
I didn't have time to make coffee.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Did not have time to make coffee.
I've always felt like every time I drink a soda before noon, people are going to call me out. And now that I have the opportunity to do it someone else, I'm going to do it. Anyway, Carlin Brothers Coffee is the best coffee in the whole darn world, okay? It's so freaking good. And right now, you can go to carlinbrotherscoffee.com/discount/bacon, or just use promo code BACON at checkout for 10% off your entire order. Or /discount/eggs, or promo code exit bacon.
Promo code exit bacon.
Eggs at checkout for 10% off your entire order for some of the best coffee in the whole darn land. Binary review on Bacon and Eggs for Love, Simon. Binary review for Love, Simon. I'm giving it a 1.
I am as well.
Same.
I feel like there are a lot of teen movies out there, and if you only get to see, I don't know, 5, this should be among those 5.
Yeah. I think I was going to say, like, this one didn't, like, there was no question for me, just because I feel like it has so many lessons for literally everyone, like, not even, like, parents, kids, families, non-families, just, like, everyone.
Yes. I think, Ethan, let me hear your score. I know your score, but let's hear your reasoning.
Oh, I think this is a very, like y'all just said, it's a very important movie for everybody in general to know. You surprised the hell out of me by asking me to say something. I was looking something up.
What is this movie?
I was like, there are
I thought Meg Ryan was
messages
great.
and also things that you should learn from this movie.
There are themes.
There are themes. There are scenes. No, this movie definitely was a movie that was sort of eye-opening for me in several different ways to learn maybe ways I could have been more supportive in the past, ways I can be more supportive in the future, and ways in which the people around me are sort of looking at things. So I think it's a very important movie for everybody, especially your average American teenager, to watch.
Yeah, I would totally, like, I feel like I just personally feel like I could have had such a good like experience like having watched this if I was still in the closet. Obviously I would not have gone to the cinema because that would have been like too scary for me. Like I would have secretly watched it in my room with like the audio on like one, but like I would have felt like so good after watching it, and I still do.
I felt good after watching it. I cried a lot.
Yeah. Oh, it literally doesn't let you breathe. Like, I feel like every time it's like a moment, and then you're like, oh, I can breathe out, and then suddenly there's another moment, and you're just like sobbing.
See, I only ever cry. I've seen this like 5 times now. I only ever cry the once.
When the dad's talking to him?
Which one?
When the dad is just, because you think he's just gonna say something horrible when he's just like, 4 years of doing this, 4 years of eating dinner together, 4 years of walking the dog together. You think he's just gonna be like, I thought I knew my son.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. He's just like, oh, I should have seen it. And I'm just like, damn, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good over here.
I have like moments, like it's like the meme, like, oh sure, here we go again. Like that is me every time I watch this movie. Like when he comes out the first time, and then when he comes out to his parents, and then when he goes when the mom's speech, that's like something I feel like everyone should hear, and the like when she goes, you get to exhale now, I was just like, I died. And then again when it's like, I don't even remember what the last time was, but yeah, too many times.
Well, and then the ending, of course, when he's on the Ferris wheel.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then also when Blue, like when the email doesn't go through, and Blue is like, no, can't do this anymore. Here
was like my white privilege just shining right on down after the end of this film. I was like, I want to come out, and I'm not even gay, right? I want to be able to declare myself to the world. But no, I don't want to have to go through that. That looks absolutely extremely horrifying and challenging.
Well, that's sort of what this movie's talking about, though, is in envisioning a time in which it's not a big deal. Like, I mean, it is a big deal, but like it doesn't have to be. It's not an issue anymore. It's just a thing that everybody does, and that's that's a lot of what, especially during this particular month, is what a lot of people are focusing on is sort of normalizing everything. Everybody put your pronouns in your bio, stuff like that. Not just people who differ from what we think is the norm. It's like, if everybody does it, then it'll just be normal.
That's true.
So I'm not saying that you need to have like a coming out party, Tyler. I'm just saying that like, it's not hard to imagine a future.
If you show your
it was my heterosexual wedding, and it was freaking rad.
I feel like we shouldn't go into this, but now there's the whole straight pride thing, and I'm like,
oh no, we can go into that. We can go into that if you want, because the straight pride parade that they're trying to throw in Boston is just being put on by 3 angry dudes who were just like, I need to challenge my own sexuality. I never thought about myself like this.
It's so funny that because they obviously just see the celebration. They like obviously see it like, oh, why do they get to celebrate for a month that they're gay? Like, and then also it's the very simplistic like thought that people often say, which is I don't care where you put your dick, but like that's not the point of it. Like even like holding hands or kissing is somewhere, like some places illegal, like showing any sort of affection. And I think that's the problem, is that people think of it as only the sexual thing, especially now today. Is like everything LGBT is like over sexualized, like, oh, we shouldn't talk about this in schools because kids shouldn't know about this stuff. But it's not about that. I feel like it should be separated, the sexual and the romantic part of it.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Right. Even like last week, Rocket Man came out, the movie about Elton John, and obviously there's scenes of like men doing things with each other in that scene because it's supposed to, or in that movie, they're supposed to be sort of representative of Elton John's life. And you even still today you get people, because the ratings on IMDb, like the whatever it is, like when it gets an R rating, people can go in there and comment on IMDb as to why. Hang on, I'm trying to find the actual example. Can comment as to like why they think it's R rated or whatever. And even today you get people going like, well, there's men kissing. I won't show this to my kids.
Yeah, it's weird. That's the part that's weird to me, is that it's like, well, where was this when you showed your kid like a movie where there's a straight sex scene, where probably more gets shown. Now I haven't seen Rocket Man yet, but like I feel like straight sex is like so prominent in films where no one questions it.
I would say Rocket Man is, of like Taron Egerton's 2 big roles, he kills a lot of people in Kingsman. Right, like there's like straight up murder in that movie. He didn't kill anybody in Rocket Man.
No.
He almost kills himself.
Here it is. Under the R rating, it's in under the sex and nudity category, it gets a moderate. And this person said, Elton John is known for being gay, so it's quite obvious that this film has plenty of gay references to be found. And apparently just gay references counts as moderate sex and nudity.
I mean, there is moderate sex and nudity in
there
gay
is,
sex
there
scenes.
is, but that's not the point.
I've seen some butt, okay?
Oh my god.
I've seen some butt, some ab. I've seen some body.
Yeah. This just says surrealist orgy in which many people writhe against each other. Lasts for only seconds and no nudity is shown. Not really a graphic scene.
I mean, that's true.
And that person's just sitting there like, yep, this is a thing that people should know about. And then there's the dude underneath it just like, Elton John's gay.
Yeah, so that's definitely a problem, I feel like. I don't know where like I was going with this, but yeah, it's just like over-sexualizing anything gay, I think, is like a thing that people should realize, that it's not about the sexual things always. It's more about the fact that you can show that you're gay in public and it's not a problem.
Right. And that's the thing, is like the people who are trying to have a straight pride parade, and I'm by no means defending these guys, but it's like you can definitely tell they come from a very privileged viewpoint where like A, they've never had to fight for their own identity, and B, they've never really lived in a place where it wasn't okay to be gay. Because like A, you guys live in Boston, which is notoriously like a gay friendly city on the East Coast of America, which even we definitely have our problems, but this is one of the best places on the country or on the planet to be gay, compared to like, definitely parts of Africa where you die for it.
It also feels weird to me that it's that people see other people being happy and celebrating, and that makes them mad. And in turn,
that's the American dream right there.
If you can be mad at somebody for something, you've got it figured out.
Yeah, like
forget the old American dream of moving out west and finding gold and success. It's about being mad at happy people.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like if you can find any reason to be upset at people just living their lives, doing absolutely nothing to get in your way.
It's so strange.
This is America.
Don't get your sleeping off.
So I want to talk about this film.
Vegard, had you seen this before we asked you to watch it?
Yes,
okay.
I actually went to the cinema to watch it when I was here in my city, because I actually made it a thing that I had to watch it in the cinema, just because I feel like it was needed, because I live in such a small city, so I was like, well, they're not gonna bring in like that many gay-centered films or LGBT-centered films if they see that people aren't going to them. So I made it a thing that I had to go to the cinema to watch it, and then I watched it a couple of times after that, and then I rewatched it yesterday.
Oh man, I'm so proud of you for saying that. That's such a bacon and eggs way of thinking about it. Vote with your dollar. If a movie looks bad, don't see it. If a movie looks good, go see it. Pay money to see it.
Yeah, but I think that's important with these films, like especially for me with LGBT films, like to show that it's something that we want, to not just go around on Twitter and say, oh, I want this gay representation, and then you don't go see it in the cinema. What are you really doing? Because like you have to show the people who are making the films then that this is something we want and this is something we'll pay for to see.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. I I also saw this in theaters. Ethan saw this in theaters, right?
I did, yes.
I would pay to see it again if it was re-released. I don't know why it would be. It wasn't some like huge box office success.
Yeah,
but
I think the three of us were the only people that saw it.
Yeah.
It cost me $22 million for my ticket. I don't know. Did you guys have the same experience?
Same experience. Yeah, that's approximately. Once I bought the popcorn, $22 million sounds about right.
I was actually kind of sad because I went to the cinema here and I was hoping, and I don't know why I had this imagination, but it was during Pride that it was released for us, at least here. Because Norway, we get it a lot later, so we didn't get it in March, we got it in July. So I was like, oh my god, it's Pride season. Literally, I just came from the Pride Parade. I'm gonna watch Love, Simon. And I just imagined just all these gay people with their rainbow stickers and rainbow face paint from the Pride Parade going straight to see it in the cinema. I walk in, it's literally a group of like 13-year-old straight girls who want a gay best friend, and they went and watched it and no one else. And I was like, well, there we go.
There it is. There it is. Yeah. I've heard a lot about the gay best friend from 13 to 26-year-old straight women. I've never heard it from a gay man's perspective. Tell me more about this.
The funniest thing is me and one of my gay friends, we talk about this all the time, where often straight people come up to you and they're like, I really appreciate what you're doing, and then there's like every time I'm just like and or I wear something like a mesh top or a crop top and they're like, I really support what you're doing, I really like look up to you being so confident in this. And like, obviously it's good to have that support, and it's like, it feels obviously great and it's lovely that people are supportive, but sometimes it gets a little bit funny. Trust, it's like whenever I'm at a party and someone's just like, I'm so fascinated that you dare to do this, and I'm just like
I'm just living.
Fine.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm fine.
Just
like
me.
If I was confident enough to walk out in a crop top, like in a small city, like I don't necessarily need you to say that you, like, I don't know. It just feels like a thing where it's like, I'll support you because you're gay or something. It's weird. So I have had, I don't know. Before I came out, a lot of my friends actually used to say like, well, we were younger obviously, but they were like, oh, I just really want a gay best friend. And I was sitting there like, okay. I was like, no, yeah. I was like, I'm your best friend and I'm gay, but like, you don't know.
Was it? Can I ask you about coming out? What was that experience?
Yeah, for sure. For me, like, it was kind of a thing similar to Simon and Love, Simon. So I feel like his experience is kind of similar to mine. Obviously, well done in Norway. It's a little bit different, but I was like, why do I have to come out? Like, that was my whole thing. Like, I was like so mad. I was literally like furious. Like, why is it a thing that I have to come out? So literally, most of my friends, I sent them a Snapchat of a YouTube comment that I got, and I was like, I think the comment said, "Are you gay or just Norwegian?" And I was like, wait, I can't be both. And then that's how I came out to mostly everyone.
I'm so proud of you.
Because someone commented that it makes my accent or something, so they were like, wait, are you gay or just Norwegian? And I found that so funny.
That's amazing.
And then to my parents, obviously, it was different. It's like, I think they were mostly just like concerned that I would be bullied or something like that. But yeah, I haven't really come out to my family because I don't feel like they need to know or that I need to.
So when you say family, you said you did come out to your parents, but
oh yeah, like extended family, like aunts and uncles and all that. Okay. So
and they don't have like YouTube or Snapchat or Instagram. I mean, let me tell you, I follow you on Instagram. It is hard not to tell.
I mean, yeah, I make it quite obvious, so they all know. Like, I know, which is weird. My mom like actually sat me down. Like, it was very hard. The experience of Simon, where he's like, they don't talk for a while. That one is very accurate. Like, it's very awkward. Like, the day after I came out to the first person, I had like a slight feeling of this, like everyone was watching me, everyone knows, like somehow it spread to literally every person in the world, everyone's looking at me. Then when I came out to my parents, that feeling got even worse, and I was like, literally everyone knows, how do I even walk around here? They can see that I cried, they can see like everything, like I tried to walk different. But then after like almost a year, we finally have been able to talk about it, like my parents and everything. They had nothing wrong with it, but it was like so hard to actually start talking and figuring out how, like, they were scared that they were gonna offend me, and I was scared to hear what they had to say. So I don't know, where was I going with this?
I don't know. I'm letting you speak.
Well, yeah. Oh, so yeah, Simon's experience in the film, where it's like it takes a while before you're comfortable talking about it. That was very real for me as well. So I don't know. It's weird to talk about. Like, we actually, yeah, that was, so basically my family apparently has talked about it. Like, my aunts, uncles, grandma, they've all talked about it and asked my mom, oh, is Vegard gay? But they've never come to me about it. And they never brought it up in, like, a social situation. It's always just, like, something that they talk about amongst themselves, which is weird to know.
That is weird. Mm-hmm. That would make me, like, slightly uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I keep forgetting about it, but when I think about it, I'm like, why? Like, what? Like, what is it? Of course, I don't know. It's weird.
I think we are like, and hopefully this is the trend that continues, but we are like living through an era of like radical acceptance where things have gone from like definitely not accepted to accepted and celebrated very fast. And like older generations, I feel like it's like, especially somebody who like wasn't paying attention and like missed that happening, right? And all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're on board with this now. Okay.
I definitely see that because everything keeps moving faster and faster. So for someone who maybe isn't on social media or is older, like, they might be very shocked, and I feel like I get that.
Yeah.
I think it's all about educating people, and I think this film does a good job of that. That's why I feel like it's so important for people to watch it, and that's why I'm sad that it didn't do as well as people maybe have hoped.
I mean, it didn't do poorly. Like, $66 million is like 3 times its budget.
Yeah, but it isn't like, I wish it was just like amazing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean, me too.
That's the wild thing is, like, I know so many people that have seen and, like, love this movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe we had not reviewed it. When we were sitting down to do Pride Month, I was like, okay, we have to do Love, Simon, but we already reviewed it. And I thought when you and I spoke for your first review, I was like, no, we can't do Love, Simon because we already reviewed it.
Yeah, I thought that was the thing. So
I think the thing, because I posted, like, that...
You wrote a blog.
Yeah, I wrote, like a 8,000 word... No, it wasn't 8,000 words, but it was a long, like, blog review of it. And so in my mind, I'm like, I already did this. Because I did that basically, like, right after walking out of the theater. Because I was just actually so sort of moved by this movie. And that's the wild thing is it's so hard to sort of explain why this movie was so effective to me, because, like, it's not particularly, you know, in your face about anything. It's not particularly flamboyant. It's not particularly, you know, you could, if you weren't paying that much attention, you could, like, literally miss the fact that this is a movie about a kid finding out he's gay.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that's what I loved about it. And a lot of people, I think, had problems with, like, that it's such a generic, basic American family. And I was like, no, that's perfect, because we don't have, like, it doesn't have to, before we can have all kinds of, like, interesting films, I feel like, about being gay and that experience, and rather than having a film of just, like, a person being gay and everything's okay, I feel like this is a good film where it's, like, just breaking everything down, and it being a, like, super basic American family, I thought was perfect, because that's what you see everywhere else, but here it's just with a gay kid.
Right. And I do feel like, and Ethan, maybe you can shed some perspective on this, I do feel like Nick's family was about as good for his situation as he could have hoped for.
Oh yeah.
Like, almost like a fantasy level. Like,
that is true.
Like, the mother is this, like, hardcore liberal feminist, and the dad is this, like,
and she's a therapy
right, and she's a therapist. Like, that's like her job,
right? And, like, it takes the dad a while, you know.
It takes the dad a while, but I can imagine for a lot of young American kids having fathers who just never get it.
Right, who never, they never have that cathartic conversation. And definitely that conversation they have of the whole, like, oh, I should have missed it thing is a little bit, like, that probably doesn't happen all that often.
No, but I think the reason I like that is because I think this movie's less about being like, oh, this is the tragic, like, oh, you go through something really hard with, like, the family. I think this more is showing how the families could react and how it could be really good for a person to, like, have like, those type of parents, and see, like, more of a, if parents went to see this movie and they saw how the parents reacted and how that affected Simon, I think they could learn something from that. So I think this movie is less about showing this dramatic family reaction, more of it being like, hey, here's a lesson.
Right, and it's definitely more about the dramatic reaction and the breakdown with the friends. than it is with the movie. Or not the movie, with the family.
Oh, the Friends, I didn't think this at first. Like, I didn't think because I read this is actually the one movie that I read the book first. Shocker, like,
So
I never did that. But that was the only reason why was because it came out in Norway so late. But I feel like I didn't really react to how the Friends reacted first, but after talking to people and after rewatching it, the Friends are really awful.
I don't know. In the book, yes, I agree with you. I read the book after I saw the movie, and like I hate Leah from the book. I hate the fact that they made the ending about her. I hate her whole thing. Like, she's such a jerk. And like Simon apologizes over and over and over and over again in the book, and she's just like, well, you know, it doesn't matter. And like I get that what he did was real shirty. The whole like, oh, I'm gonna set you up with Nick and it's not gonna work or whatever, and I'm not gonna tell you all this shit. But like, it's at the end of the day, like, y'all are in high school. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I think maybe the reason that I react and people react more to it in the movie is because they look older than they should be. I think you more expect them to be more grown up about it, and then you're like, why are these adults reacting like this? And like this person who's going through coming out and of course did some bad things, but like this second he comes out and is exposed to everyone, you guys all turn your backs to him. Like, hello.
I watching the film yesterday, I had sort of like a cathartic experience with the Friends where I was like, I think it's an interesting take that they're definitely not mad at him for being gay.
Yeah.
But they don't like put kitty gloves on because he is. Like, he did a shirty thing to them.
True.
And they take, I don't want to say a selfish response, but like a self-reflective response on the way that he treated them. As opposed to being like, oh, you did all this because you're gay. I guess I have to suck it up and my feelings don't matter because you've had this cathartic realization that you can now come out. My feelings still matter. I still thought I mattered to you. And
it's definitely like, Simon, it sucks that you're having this hard time, but like, you don't get to use us. Like, this still isn't chill.
Yeah, the problem I feel like is that yes, for sure, but I feel like they didn't see his side at all. Like, I feel like they kind of like didn't like think through his thought process in this. Like, they didn't think about how exposing it was for him. Like, not that the exposing itself and how it felt afterwards, obviously, but just like if they put themselves in his perspective for a little bit, like I feel like it could have been an easier, like obviously they would have had to be like, okay, we need to stop this for a while and like think for ourselves, but maybe be a little bit easier on him, just like because it's so harsh. Like, he just was exposed to everyone and then like everyone turns their back to him.
Here's my thing about Simon though. Like, this dude has got to know his friends better than this, because like he could definitely have just gone to these three people and been like, by the way, I'm gay and Martin Addison knows about it and he's gonna tell the entire school.
Right. Unless Abby,
because like he told
give
Abby
him a chance. Right.
Yeah.
And when he told Abby, I felt like he could have told her the whole situation. And I get that, like, it wasn't just being gay that he had to come out about to his friends, but it was also like, I'm gay and I'm in love with this man I've never met.
Mm-hmm. I think that's harder though. I think that's where like for me, like I know how like crushing it would be for like anyone to know when I was in the closet. If anyone like found out or tried, like for the longest time, like getting a comment asking if I was gay was like terrifying to me, because then maybe more people got the idea that I was gay. So like and then I had the same experience as well, where I came out to someone I barely knew first, and I left my best friend of like a very long time almost for last, just because I was so scared that by any chance they would have a bigger reaction. Even though I knew, like, you go through, like, when you're coming out, like, I went through like so many conversations in my head of how people would react, and like I couldn't imagine, like, even though I knew my parents would be okay with it, like in my head they were the most homophobic people ever, like like I made everyone have these big reactions, and I just couldn't like say anything. But I think he could have probably said that Martin knows the secret about me and blah blah blah, but I don't know.
Well, so
I kind of understand.
No, for sure. So would you have?
So you definitely, Vegard, you have a better perspective on this than we do.
But would you, and that's kind of what I'm curious about. Like, would you have done what Simon did? Like, would you have gone along with all that? And if you could say yes, like nobody's gonna be upset.
It depends on what part of my like the process of coming out, like which part of the process I was in.
Gotcha.
Like me now, obviously I've been out for a couple of
Yeah,
years. Like,
I was gonna say, if you did it now, you'd just be an
Apex.
asshole.
Yeah, well, now I would be like, you have emails of me saying that I'm gay. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, print them, buddy.
How
Go
did you
for
get
it.
my emails?
But then, if I was, when I first started thinking about the fact that I was gay, I think I would. But that was when I was like 13. So like, I don't know if because of his age, like obviously it's different like for each person, and it might come at a different time for each person. But I think, I don't know, it's just something about him being like 17. And then
I agree with that as well.
still-
That is what kind of made me weird about this whole thing, even in the book and the movie. I'm like, you're a little old for this. Like, I don't know.
I feel like if she had written them just like she would have made this whole more believable if she had written the characters to be younger. Like the whole same thing, but them being like a couple of years younger, this whole thing would have made more sense in my opinion.
Well,
but then again, some people like don't come out until they're like very old, or like, they have a much harder time with that.
If you are 17 and still in the closet, like it's okay. Come out when you're ready. Like
If you're
Literally, like,
35
the
and still in
only
the
thing
closet, like go for it. Like
It's
Don't
the
ruin
only thing
somebody's
is, like,
life over
Make
it,
sure, like if it's a thing of you coming out, like especially in Pride, I feel like there's a pressure to come out. Like it's all about you being safe and you being comfortable. Like if you're not in a safe environment, like don't come out just because it's Pride Month or just because you feel like you're the right age to do it.
right.
that being said, if the book was written about 13-year-olds, it would have to be very different.
No, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I think 15 is your sweet spot.
Man, I still would have been weird about that book. That book weirded me out in some parts, and I knew it was about like 17, 18-year-olds. I'd still just think it was unnecessarily graphic in certain parts.
Oh, I can't even remember.
I don't know. Ginny and Harry go to town.
No, they don't.
They got the horses in the back.
they snog.
There's some graphic descriptions of that snogging.
Oh my God.
There's. Have you read the book, Tyler?
Have I read Harry Potter?
No. Simon versus the Homo sapiens. Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda.
No, but I believe it's in my office.
So there's a rather graphic scene depicting Simon having some alone time.
Oh.
That like
There's that in a good amount of teenage novels about
yeah,
guys.
but no, there's not.
Are you kidding? There's like an entire chapter of Ready Player One where he's
Fortnite.
a sex robot.
Yeah, and that was weird.
And it was super
Believe it or
weird.
not.
Why did you include
Believe
this?
it or not, that was weird. Ernest Cline's a strange guy.
Like it was like many pages.
Yeah, it went on and on and on. Yeah, but it was the same. It was the same having it read to me out loud in my car while I was like driving down the road listening to this book.
Yeah.
Pull up to a stoplight. You got the windows rolled down.
Never.
Grandma in the car
Never.
next to you.
Oh, the worst thing is like, because I've listened to Ready Player One numerous times, and I'll get in the car with somebody, and my audibles just start playing at the sex robot part.
Oh god.
Is that a thing that actually happened, or is it just like an imaginary?
No, that is a thing that really happened. Granted, it was just my roommate who was just like, "What the ever-loving Fortnite are you listening to?"
I mean, that sounds actually terrible.
I mean, it's just like if you just say, "Oh, it's an audiobook," people will just be like, "Oh, okay." Whatever.
Yeah.
Like
true.
books notoriously more than because books don't have ratings. Like there's no you can't R-rate a book.
Right.
Like there's notoriously more weird shit in books than movies and television and music and all that.
Even Hazel and Augustus go to Pound Town. And,
That is
upstate,
not a graphic scene.
upstate Netherlands. Or where are they?
Yeah, the Netherlands. Yeah, that's where Amsterdam is.
Amsterdam, that's the name of the city. In Europe's Albany, they go.
But I don't know, man. It's just and granted, maybe that's a little bit heteronormative of me, but I just I don't want to read about a 17-year-old beating his meat. I just don't. Don't. I didn't think it was necessary to the story at all.
They handled that well in the movie then, and also they didn't have the same ending. I feel like it was fine to just end it where.
Thank you. Yes, the ending in the movie is so much better for me. How he works everything out with Leah ahead of time, and that way it makes it about. He's got to get himself right with his friends before he can sort of have his catharsis. Mm-hmm. As opposed to, like, him getting everything he wants and then Leah still being like, well, Fortnite. You, Simon, you big old douche.
Also,
I'm gonna play in a band with your sister.
Oh my god, I even forgot. Oh, yeah. But I do feel like the ending is like very movie made, where it's like, no, I don't think a gay closeted guy would walk out in front of literally everyone who's filming and everything is about social media, and then he just like walks onto the Ferris wheel and kisses on top of the Ferris wheel. Like in the book, I think I remember there's like no one around, and I feel like that's much more.
There's no one around because everybody
realistic.
still hates Simon at that point.
Oh, true.
I feel like I agree with you. I don't think it would happen. I mean, there's a lot of things about this movie that are a little
yeah.
fantasy land.
Definitely.
But I will say, like, the American high school experience, like, blogs about your high school and secrets at your high school are 100% real.
That actually, like, sounds, like, so terrible. Like, if that was a thing for me, like, I would be so scared, like, that something was, like, going around or something.
Oh, and like, to this day, I look up to people that I went to high school with that were in, like, the popular crowd. Ethan and I were not popular in high school. We were friends with each other and our friend Chris and the girls that we dated. So there was, like, 6 people total. Like, that was it. That's all I had. So I still look up to, like, the popular kids at high school as, like, modern-day celebrities.
Yeah.
And I have no idea why. But, like, every time I see Reese Kemp downtown at the same bar I'm at, drinking those same beers I'm drinking, I'm like, oh my god, that dude is so cool.
See, I don't have that experience.
I don't know why, but, like, I think I always had, like, a toxic thing with the popular people because they were always the ones that were, like, joking about me and going around, like, with my YouTube channel. Oh, please, Siren. Anyway,
It's okay.
they would joke around about, like, my YouTube channel specifically, not the fact that I was gay, but, like, they would, because my old YouTube name was Wise Helpful Puff, so they would always be, like, joking around with that and, like, scream that at me.
Oh my god, I cannot imagine, like...
Yeah, that would have gotten you bullied at our high school.
Yeah,
100%.
I cannot imagine having
100%.
like a moderately successful YouTube channel in high school.
That was also before it became, like, cool to be a YouTuber. Like, it was just before it became cool. So, like, now... Oh, this is also... like, now it's, like, a cool thing. And I feel like now with being gay as well, it's, like, more of a, like, accepted thing. Where back then it was, like, you're weird. Why are you doing this?
Right. Like, you're such a weird kid, man. Like, yeah. I feel like in college, Ethan and I were in 2 clubs. We were in our fraternity, which was like a mind-blowing experience, right? We had already talked about in high school, there was like one out kid. And then we went to college in our fraternity, which had 20 brothers. It was 20 guys. I would say at any given time, 5 of them were like out and proud. So that was like a huge, and that was like the only people we hung out with, right? So that was like a huge turn in my life. It's like, I'm going to experience a new culture now. But we were in like 2 clubs, and I would say that, like, if you were to ask me what I did in college while I was in college, I would tell you only about the fraternity. Like, there was at least a small part of shame about doing a radio show, which was like our version of YouTube. Even though if you were friends with me on Facebook, I posted the crap out about that radio show. And you best believe Tuesdays from 9 to 11 or 10 to midnight, you were listening to Bro Time with T&E.
Yeah,
no doubt
I
about
just,
that.
the only thing I have shame about for the radio show is how Fortnite obnoxious we were. We would send out, like, we would hijack the listserv and send out email blasts to the entire school, being like, hey, we got a radio show.
And they would be like the worst emails in the world.
We were just
Apex Legends.
So we were 19, we were college sophomores, just like, we're 2 straight white dudes. The world should open up for us, right? Like, this is how it works. Our
This is my
destiny.
world now.
Yeah. We're claiming everything that was promised to us by the ye old books of racism.
Oh my god.
No, I mean, we weren't racist, but it was just like, we were just arrogant, just
extremely.
That's so funny.
And that's the only thing I have shame about that is if I went and looked back at those emails, I'm just like, oh god.
What we would do, Vegard, is we would hijack. There was a spirit organization at our school that everyone signed up for, and I was on the executive committee. So like, when freshmen came in, they would write their email down on this sheet of paper, and then I would be in charge of sending them emails from the school.
Would you copy it?
So I copied it completely, and I would send them emails from Blue Crew, which was a spirit organization, like, the Captains are playing Salisbury this weekend, come to the football game, and that was great. And then I would also send them emails for Bro Time with T&E.
Bro Time with T&E.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Did anyone ever get mad?
Once.
Yes.
One person.
We had like 2 or 3 people.
No, but there was one person that was just like, I swear to God, if y'all don't stop sending me these Fortnite emails, I'm gonna walk my
Apex
down to the radio studio and beat your heads in.
Oh,
And she was like a very small freshman girl.
She's very sweet though. Outside of that,
Yeah, never once when I met her later on was I like, hey, I'm that guy that sends you emails. For all I know, she's probably listening right now.
Oh my god.
No, that is extremely unlikely.
Well, hello if you are.
Also, shout out Belle Tunstall. Still not listening to the show. What's up? Just
What's up?
running
Good to
gag
see
at
you
this
again.
point.
Who?
Oh no, she's just a random girl we went to college with.
Oh.
But we mentioned her one day on the show, and I was like, I doubt she listens. And then she's just come up 2 or 3 other times since then. And so I was making a joke last
for a
week.
variety of reasons.
I was making a joke last week that there's like people, on the end of Australia just like, oh, what's up, Belle Tunstall? How's it going? And she like has no idea.
Oh, that's so funny.
One day we're going to be influential enough that she'll have no choice but to listen to us. And then she'll be like, what is this?
She's just like, there's like a cut where someone has like put together every time you mention her and posted it.
Super cut of Belle Tunstall quotes. That's it. Yeah, totally.
Because we have fans who spend time doing edits of our podcast.
We will.
We do. I mean,
Yes.
the little audiogram things you see on Instagram, the things where it
yeah.
like has what we say, those are put together by a
Shout
fan.
out Tori Wood.
Cute.
Shout out Tori Wood.
Oh,
Major shout out.
Tori. Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
Love
you
her.
should know Tori too, because you know Seamus, and Tori and Seamus
Yeah.
are like BFFs.
Yeah. And she followed me a while back when me and Seamus were doing the Seamus, Sophie, and Laura did the meetup and everything.
Oh yeah, that was like 3 years ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 years ago. I
You were
think.
still Wise Hufflepuff then,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yep. Signed a lot of Harry Potter books with Wise Hufflepuff or W Hufflepuff.
I'm so proud of
Great.
you.
Oh, oof. No.
Aren't you a Gryffindor now? Isn't that the resorting 2019?
Well, according to the conspiracy,
The powers
of-
that be.
Yeah, the Gryffindor conspiracy. We're all Gryffindors now.
I mean, that just means we're main characters, right? We went from obscurity to importance. Although I don't think I got Gryffindor.
Don't say
did I?
that.
The book's about Harry, okay?
Well, that's what.
And you can be like, well, Fantastic Beasts is about Dumbledore, a Gryffindor.
Oh, let's not touch on Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts is about Newt, a Hufflepuff.
Okay, sort of. The first one
don't
was.
count the 10 million other storylines, then yes, it's about Newt.
I think Newt didn't belong in the second one. I'll say it.
And no one belonged in the second one. There were 10 storylines. I don't care about all these people. And what is J.K. Rowling doing?
I have no idea. I want her to
Cashing
stop.
in that check.
She is cashing in that check.
Taking
I
that
just
shit
want
to
her to.
Gringotts.
Here's what I want from J.K. Rowling. You are not allowed to write anything else. You are required to go to 3 Comic Cons a year for the rest of time. That's all J.K. Rowling can do.
No.
Can she not just write it as a book?
Yes,
and
she
then
is
someone can
required to
convert
continue
it?
writing the Fantastic Beasts series as books.
That are never released. They never see the light of day, but someone takes that book and converts it into a movie, and it says something about credit to J.K. Rowling. But I don't want to read the books. I just want her to write it as a book so that it's good, and then someone converts it into a movie, which has worked.
It worked 8 times in a row.
Anyway, that was a can of worms. I knew as soon as Fantastic Beasts came out, it was gonna be a thing. We opened up a can of worms.
Yeah, Crimes of Grindelwald was just a mess. R.I.P.
I have to stay silent kind of on that because, I'm hopeful that I'm gonna work with them. But, I did say my thing, so I guess I'm not. I guess I'm canceled.
I mean, I still saw it more than once. Like, I'm by no means.
Listen, I know that Warner Brothers works with Super Carlin Brothers, and Warner Brothers works with
Everybody.
with Vegard.
Yeah.
But they do not listen to Bacon and Eggs. But that doesn't mean it, openly trash their product.
No, I mean, yeah.
We love a lot of the Warner Brothers product. You should go listen to our episode on the Lego movie. We love
This is a Warner Brothers product. Love, Simon? I don't know if
Is
you
it?
knew that. Yeah, right?
Is it?
This is.
Oh, gosh.
I don't
Oh,
think
gosh.
so.
Is it,
This is Focus Features, I think.
No, this is Fox 20th Century. Because I remember when the movie started, I was like, oh my God, Love, Simon's in the MCU now.
Yeah, 20th Century Fox, R.I.P. in peace, AF is Fortnite.
No, not R.I.P. Did you see the numbers for freaking Dark Phoenix? I want to talk to you about the box office this weekend, Ethan.
Yeah, but they...
$47.1 million. Secret Life of Pets 2. Dark Phoenix came out, Ethan. That's a superhero film. That is a, like, when you go to like a conference to buy yourself a new franchise because you're a young entrepreneur, and they're like, this is a industry that's protected from what's financial downturn. That's what like superhero films are. Like you make a superhero film, it makes over $100 million opening weekend. Period. End of story. Dark Phoenix made $33 million, Ethan. That's pathetic. That's sad.
Yeah. What does that have anything to do with Fortnite? Anything.
Fox.
Okay.
So not R.I.P. R.I.P.D. with Ryan Reynolds. That's what I mean.
You can't use Dark Phoenix to write off one of the best movie studios in the country.
Well, they don't exist anymore.
Right, which is depressing. And also, Fox 2K did not make Dark Phoenix.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Studio, 20th Century Fox.
No, Fox 2000, Tyler. Fox 2000.
What are you talking about?
Fox 2000 is a studio that made Love, Simon, Tyler.
Is that not the same thing?
No, it's not. That
I'm
was Fox's
fascinated.
mid-budget movie studio that Disney destroyed.
Ah.
Destroyed.
They dissolved it. Like there's no like easy way to say this.
There should be like a sound effect on that. Like put that down. Destroyed.
I know, they fired a bunch of people. Yeah. But hey, those people might get jobs in the parks, you know, if they just apply
Where
to...
is this going? What?
I don't know.
What is going on?
I know the Disney parks are always hiring, though. They have 60,000 employees in Orlando alone. 60,000 employees, Ethan. That's the biggest single location employer in the world.
Congrats to them. Put Fox 2K back. If they kill off Searchlight, I'm going to riot by myself in front of the gates at Magic Kingdom.
And then I will buy a ticket and go enjoy the
I will
rides.
not buy a ticket.
I'd buy a ticket to a ride called Ticket to Ride, about the board game Ticket to Ride. I'd buy a ticket to ride a Ferris wheel, and now we're back. Look at that.
They made Fight Club,
full circle.
Tyler. They made Fight Club, and now they're gone.
Full circle, just like a Ferris wheel. We went full circle. Yep. We had some highest highs there, and some lowest lows.
Yeah.
Lowest lows, lowest lane.
That's like every YouTuber now that's making an apology video. They're like, this week had so many highs and so many lows. It's like it's like a meme.
Apology videos are so weird, man. What a weird culture.
Yeah. Now we're off topic again. I feel like
we're back in the lowest lows.
I don't know. We can talk about James Charles.
No, I want to talk about a lack of apology videos. I'm just proud of Seamus for not apologizing, for just taking the video down and moving on.
Which one? The Cursed Child one?
Yes.
The one where he roasted a book. And by roasted, I mean lit it on fire.
Yes. I was questioning that when he did that. Like, I messaged him and was like, do you know the history of book burning in Harry Potter? It's kind of like...
He didn't know the history of book burning in anything, was the problem.
No.
But but you know what? We just... And now we're bringing it up again, and maybe we shouldn't, but...
Oh, yep. No one say anything. We never mentioned it.
Right.
Book burning, never heard of the word.
They made the Life of Pi, Tyler, and now they're gone.
I do not encourage it. What?
I said they made the Life of Pi, Tyler, and now they're gone.
I never saw the Life of Pi.
Yeah, won Best Picture. They made this movie. They made
a lot of Best
Stars. Made a lot of movies.
Wait, are we back
They were
in the
great,
studio?
and now they're gone.
Is this movie more Gay Paper Towns or Gay Fault in Our Stars?
Nobody dies.
I haven't watched Paper Towns.
Hey, Vegard. Pro tip here: don't watch Paper Towns.
Well,
read Paper Towns.
I never thought I was.
It's
I was not
Fortnite
interested.
dumpster fire of a movie.
I thought, well, yeah, I don't know. I never really liked John Green's writing. Anyway.
Oh,
whoa!
Well, that I disagree with entirely. That you're just categorically wrong about.
Well,
but you
I'm
can be
sorry.
wrong.
Well,
about
maybe
that's
it's
fine.
because which book was it that I started reading? It's something. It's a name twice.
Oh, Will Grayson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
that one wasn't that great. That was very poor treatment on how to be gay in America. Just saying.
I literally couldn't even get past like a chapter. I was like,
yeah, it's only halfway written by John Green. That's not the one I would go with.
Yeah, maybe I was just bad. It was just a bad.
You should read The Fault in Our Stars.
At this point, do I really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll take like an afternoon. What?
Yeah. It was like the #1 bestseller for like a year in America.
I know.
It's an amazing book. His follow-up though sucked donkey balls.
What was his follow-up?
Turtles All the Way Down.
Oh, I love Turtles All the Way Down.
I did not.
But that's a me thing.
I did not.
I liked Turtle All the Way Down. I also liked Hank's book.
I loved Hank's book. That's the Hank thing to call it too. For us to call it Hank's book instead of giving it a name.
Well, like the actual name could also describe. It's an absolutely remarkable thing. Do you not follow the Vlog Brothers? Are you not part of? Like, are you not a nerd
He's
fighter?
like 12.
This is mind blowing to me. I didn't know you could be on YouTube and not
Vegard's
be a nerd
so
fighter.
much younger than us, Tyler.
Well, I mean, I did like I have watched them and I have like been a fan for a while, but I don't know, it really died off for me really quickly. So like with them, like I don't know why, but I was never. I like click on like when I see an interesting video topic, I click on their videos, but no, I don't really follow them.
That's wild to me. Vegard, if you were to give me like you're in the YouTube world, right? So you like watch other YouTubers, right?
Oh, I feel like this is weird, but I feel like I'm one of my like YouTube friend group. I'm one of the ones that watch the most YouTube, and I'm so confused why not many like of my friends watch YouTube. Like I watch so much YouTube videos, like rather than films, and I want to make films. Like I don't know. But what was your question?
I was gonna say, like, if you were to give me like these are the 5 YouTubers I will watch their video regardless of whether or not I find the topic interesting.
Oh, it's one of them is quite new. It's Naomi John. She like blew up recently. She basically making like a freckle video. She made like she tried to do fake freckles, and she's just very like an interesting person. I think recently Chris Clemens as well. These are all quite new.
That's okay.
Like,
they don't have to be
recently.
legacy YouTubers.
Also,
we're in a new generation.
Watching YouTube is an important part of being a YouTuber. Like that is still part of your job. Don't let people tell you that it's not. Even if Seamus is just like, oh, I never watch your YouTube videos.
No, I literally like I watch all my friends' YouTube channels. I watch everyone's videos. Like I watch so much YouTube, and I think that's important. Like for me, that's really helped me be inspired. And like my job technically with YouTube is like making a Harry Potter thing or making a trend that's on YouTube into a Harry Potter thing. So I have to watch YouTube, or else I wouldn't know what would do well. Or
what a fascinating way to deconstruct how you build your videos. I could sit here for hours, like watching your video titles and trying to figure out, like, how does he come up with this stuff?
Yeah, same. I'm sitting here like, what's the fucking theme here? Like,
and you just made it so obvious and so
because
easy.
I don't watch the same YouTube you do, so I don't see the trends at all. I just see your videos.
Yeah, so I find that obviously some of them are not trends, some of them is just like random things I come up with, but usually what I do is like I sit down and I naturally watch a bunch of videos, and then I'm like, oh, well, this could easily be turned into this, and then I start like trying to make it into a Harry Potter thing. Because that has worked. But then
just
so
the Harry Potter
Naomi John
PewDiePie.
and Chris Crumbs.
I said you're just the Harry Potter PewDiePie.
Oh, with a fraction, a millionth of the subscribers.
Well, everyone has a fraction
nobody
of
got more subscribers than that guy.
Yeah, true. And then, other than those YouTubers, I think Good Mythical Morning, they're very interesting.
Yes, I watch a lot of GMM.
And Sack and J Show, they are really quite new. They're really good. They make like really high quality videos, and it's 2 guys who I think had YouTube channels before, and they were like, we need to like sit down and make this happen. Like if we want to make a collab channel, and they did, and they're like really high quality content, and it's really good. And then I think the last one, I guess, any of my YouTube friends, really, I watch all of their videos.
Yeah, that's like all I watch on YouTube, right? Like I watch Good Mythical Morning and Casey Neistat, and then I watch people who have been on this show. So like Super Carlin Brothers, Seamus, you, Sophie.
I watch a lot of people. I watch a lot of different people.
Ryan George. I watch Donut Media a lot. They do car videos. I'm not even like a car person, but who am I kidding? But I could not like outside of go check your oil, I could do nothing to my car. I couldn't put new windshield wiper blades on it.
I don't even know if I could do.
You could definitely put new windshield wiper blades on your car, Tyler. It would take you 30 seconds to figure it out.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I watch a lot of different YouTubers, but I'm also like actively learning to be a photographer by watching YouTube videos.
Oh, cool.
You just got Ethan. I wanted to tell you I'm so proud of you for going on tour for photography.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
I want to tell you in person that I'm proud of you, and I just want to hang out and tell you in person that I'm proud of you.
Well, let's hang out then. I can't hang out tonight.
Okay.
But
now, on the flip side of things, Ethan,
because I am photographing a show tonight.
Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say tomorrow or Thursday, actually.
Probably Thursday would work better for me.
Well, you said yesterday, or you said last week, you were free to hang out tomorrow.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I can hang out tomorrow. Probably.
I just figured you would.
But like, if we could make that plan today, so I know when I need to be available tomorrow, that'd be great. This is not a conversation for the show. You can.
So I was actually
so
we know who Vegard's watching on YouTube, but Ethan, I'm curious. in the different medium, this is a podcast. And I did notice one day going through my podcast app, I was talking to some other human being who was like, yeah, no, I love Serial. And that's like
I just re-listened to the first season of Serial.
Right, but when you meet somebody and you're like, oh yeah, I have a podcast, and they're like, oh yeah, I love Serial, it was great. Like, okay, so you don't listen to podcasts, I get it.
So I have a lot of friends that because I have a whole second sort of friend group of people I know from being in the music scene in Fortnite. None of them listen to podcasts. I mean,
they listen to
some
music.
of them listen to our show, but friends of mine will post on Twitter and be like, hey, I got a long drive, I need a podcast recommendations, and people literally the only comments are like, listen to Wine and Crime, or have you heard Serial yet?
Right. Are you familiar with Serial? Sarah Koenig, do you know her? So Ethan, I'm curious.
I haven't listened to Serial.
That's okay.
Season 1 of Serial is truly an excellent deep dive media.
What is it about?
So it's
the first true crime podcast.
It was the first true crime podcast. It's a true story told week to week from WBZ Chicago and This American Life. This is Serial. I'm Sarah Koenig.
But it's about this murder trial from 20 years ago that this journalist is digging up and trying to prove the plaintiff's innocence, or the defendant.
Well, no, she's giving the guy who claims his innocence a chance to tell his side of the story.
Anyway, Ethan, I'm curious, what are the 5 podcasts you've been listening to? What do you recommend?
What do I recommend? Let's see. What have I been listening to?
My podcast app needs updating. I need podcast recommendations. I've been listening to a lot of 99% Invisible, a lot of The Adventure Zone, Cinemaholics always, but that's a Friends, so that doesn't count. People who've been on our show don't count.
I literally only listen to Psychobabble by Tyler and Corey and Air Biscuits by...
I do love Air Biscuits. I haven't listened
I'm
to Air
a little
Biscuits in a long
heartbroken, Vegard. I'm a little heartbroken as you sit on our show and tell us you don't listen to it.
Oh my god. I literally I get so little time to listen to podcasts. I only listen to podcasts when I run. And it's I have those two, but I do whenever I don't have those, I either
It's totally fine.
So as of the past couple days, I've been re-listening to The Adventure Zone, the first part of that, because I blew through it about a month and a half ago and don't remember anything. I've been listening to a lot of 99% Invisible. I listened to a lot of I only listen to the Mountain Goats. I listened to And That's Why We Drink. And I listened to Good Morning Night Vale.
Okay, so let's see what I've got.
Which are very me things to listen to. I really only stick within sort of my podcast family of products.
Well, I've actually been thinking about this a lot lately. I want new podcasts. I've listened to, so this is also somebody who's been on the show, but Hello from Elsewhere is an excellent show. Hello from the Magic Tavern with Arnie Niekamp is absolutely hilarious.
Yes.
The Anthropocene Reviewed by Helen Zaltzman.
I still have not listened to a single episode other than the one we saw live.
Oh my God, she's a genius.
Wait, no. The Anthropocene Reviewed is John's show.
Oh, The Illusionist with Helen Zaltzman.
Is she the other woman that did that?
Words.
Yeah, the Words. Yeah, that was amazing. I couldn't remember what it was called.
Yeah, that's the one I meant. Sorry. I listened to Perspective Z.
Oh yeah, Perspective Z, your favorite generational podcast with new episodes every Monday, where we get your podcast now on Spotify. I was on an episode of that talking about Night Vale.
Oh my God, that was the funniest thing ever. We hijacked their book reading contest and told them to read Welcome to Night Vale, the book, which, Vegard, if you don't know, is this ultra niche, ultra surrealist audio experience. And there's a book that is just a written version of it.
Yeah, it's a book written in the universe of a serial fiction podcast. And they were very confused.
Oh.
It is very confusing.
I am confused.
Because it's a podcast with 140 episodes that tells this whole story, and it's a book written in that universe, and they just read the book without ever having heard a single episode of the show, and everything they say on the show is completely insane.
Okay, so Vegard.
Yeah.
You're gay.
Yes.
Why are you gay?
Not why are you gay?
I'm just gonna sample that and just put that on social. That's gonna be my promo for this. It's gonna be so Vegard, you're gay.
Have you guys see that video though? I think it's from it's somewhere in Africa, and the dude's just today on our show we have a gay rights activist. First question: why are you gay? And the dude's just who says I'm gay? And he goes, you are gay. And it's all I have to say, it's amazing because the dude's just so serious.
Oh my God!
It's like a morning talk show. The dude's just why are you gay?
I want to get back to Love, Simon real quick because I want to talk about Martin, Logan Miller's character, the sort of antagonist here.
Yeah.
I texted Ethan while I was watching this movie. I can imagine a world where this kid has a sympathetic story where I get what he does. Like, he makes it all the way up to this point before he outs Simon, where you're like, nobody gets this kid, and even the gay kid is like bullying him for being like a total dweeb, and he has this like cathartic moment with Abby, and he does the thing at homecoming, which genuinely would be like the most embarrassing thing in history.
You interrupted the national anthem, bro. Like
to get rejected. And I felt like Logan was hard on him. I felt like Logan was, because it's like this interesting thing where he's like, Simon, help me talk to Abby. And Simon goes over and he's like, well, girls don't like close-up magic. Girls don't like guys who wear shirts with silly sayings. And he's like, I don't want you to get me to be with her. Like, I don't want you to lie my way in, right? I want to be myself and get to be with her. And that's like such a privilege, right? Because this whole movie's about Simon being like, I can't be myself anywhere.
Oh, yeah, true.
So I think it's this weird contrast where Martin gets to be himself and he's just like a totally annoying shirt bag, but he doesn't really, like, nobody's like outwardly mean to him for it. They just kind of let him do his thing, where Simon feels like, I have to hide who I am, because if I tell anybody, I'll be bullied or made fun of. And then as soon as Martin outs him, you know, there's the thing in the cafeteria with the guys, which stuff like that totally does happen and is awful. And I just kind of had my own cathartic realization about these characters as I verbally processed to you two. And Vegard, I just need like a soundboard of you going, yeah, for sure.
No, but I agree. Like, I don't know. I feel like I've seen people like or known people like that are kind of like Martin. So it's like understandable, but he just really doesn't like have any like social clues. Like
no, he doesn't. He's very socially awkward and he misses all the cues and he's this like film nerd. I would say, like, I would like to imagine that if I were any character in this movie in high school, I would have been most like Nick, the friend. I probably was most like Martin.
Yeah.
Ethan, where do you fall on this?
I mean, I would not have, even in high school, I don't think I would have done what Martin did.
No, I think I would have had a little bit more sense than that. But I can imagine, like,
I don't know how I would have responded if I like logged into the library computer and saw emails like that. But I definitely don't think my first instinct would have been to like blackmail the guy.
Right.
No, I don't think I would have done that. I don't think I would have printed the emails. I think when he's put in the situation after homecoming, like say he logged into the computer but didn't print the emails, right? But now he knows. He didn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have blackmailed Simon. That wouldn't have been my character move. But I can imagine a world where, embarrassed about what happened at homecoming, shifting the attention to someone else.
I think.
Well, we were also Martin's age, like 10 years ago, almost.
Right.
And not that like time has really changed anything or made anything that happened in the past like excusable, but it's like I definitely am like haunted by how our entire school treated the gay kids.
Yes.
And like, you know, my roles I should not have had in that, and everybody's roles that we should not have had in that. And it's just like, so I don't know what would have happened when we were in high school, but I know that like if this happened today in 2019, I almost feel like this movie is almost a little dated already.
Yeah, I think so too. I think everyone more would have backed. Obviously, his Simon's friends would have been still a little bit like or very mad, but I think the majority of the school would be backing up Simon.
Oh, I think basically what would have happened is almost immediately everyone would have put together that Martin wrote the post outing Simon and would have turned on that dude.
If the post actually included like, maybe we should pay attention to Simon Spear instead of that thing that happened with Martin Allison at homecoming.
Yeah,
the entire school would be like the bullies would have gone in the next day like, nice work, Martin, you shove you in a locker.
Right, you are going to be in pain now. I broke your iPhone. The Big Lebowski's not that woke. Like, they're just gonna say things that ruin this kid's life.
Not that I'm like in favor of bullying by any means.
No.
And again, I feel like at the point when even if I was mad, I feel like if I was in Nick's position and I was like Mr. Cool Guy soccer player, like me and my soccer buddy friends would have just gone and beat the shirt out of Martin. Again, not promoting bullying at all, but like if I was 17 and I was Mr. Cool Guy soccer player,
you were on the soccer team, Ethan? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
And somebody outed my best, outed one of my best friends. I would be mad. Like,
yeah.
I didn't know you were on the soccer team.
I was 100% not on the soccer team. Jesus Christ.
Those dudes were cool.
Yeah.
Can I just say, this is besides the point, but it's still about Love, Simon.
Okay.
But it's just something I found really annoying in the film. It's the sound mixing. Is this just me? Like, I feel like this is just like a thing that annoyed me. Like, the music is never like in the environment, or it never sounds real. Like, every party they do is like super like, I don't know. Do you guys agree with that?
I think that's an interesting take. I guess I didn't think about it in this context. When I think teen movie, there's a scene in The Breakfast Club where the guy shatters glass rocking out to some guitar, right? I guess I don't, it wouldn't have crossed my mind, but now that you mention it, it's like an egregious, frustrating problem, and you've ruined the film for the rest of my life.
I'm sorry, it's so annoying.
So the soundtrack for this movie was done by Jack Antonoff from Bleachers, and a lot of their music is in this movie, and they're like one of my favorite bands like ever. So I was just the whole time in this movie, I'm just like, this soundtrack, Fortnite. Like, I love all this music.
The soundtrack is amazing. I love the music, but like whenever like there's a party, they all talk like this, like completely normal voices, maybe raised a teeny bit. And this is like a thing that bugs me with so many movies, is like when a party scene is on, the music never sounds like it's actually there. Like, it sounds like they just like lay the track on top of it after, and people
because they 100% did just lay the track on top of it afterward.
I don't know, but that really bugged me. And also like the continuity is like so bad. Like, there's so many like continuity errors. That's just like random I thought of because I wrote it down, and I was like, as I was watching it, because I've watched it a couple of times now, that's what I noticed.
I'm proud of you for noticing. We need more thoughts like that on this show.
Yeah.
It just really bugs me whenever there's supposed to be music, like in the mise en scène, like in it, and it's just not. It just sounds.
What I always hate about, especially about these teen movies, because this is the thing that happens. You made me think of this because of the music. This is the thing that happens a lot. Yeah. Is like when you get a new original song not composed, but like written for the movie.
Yeah.
And it plays like over the end credits every time.
That drives me
every
crazy.
time I'm like, put it in the Fortnite movie. Like this movie had that not so typical love song at the end. The Fault in Our Stars had that song by Ed Sheeran. Like Taylor Swift did a Fortnite star for one of the Hunger Games movies. Like,
it feels like it's just for
right. It's just for and that drives me nuts. It's like, put it in the. Especially in a movie like this where you have like a lot of actual like pop music playing in the movie. It's like, put it in the movie. Like, have Simon get in the Subaru and it's playing the Alfie's song or whatever the hell it's called.
I'm like a sucker for Troye Sivan, so like I was very happy that his song got in there, because it's written for the movie as well, Strawberries and Cigarettes. Yeah. But it's also just like literally like it's silent. It starts up with him singing, and then it just goes to like a instrumental of it, and it's like so silent you can barely hear it. But I was like, oh my god,
there it is.
Yeah,
but it's like
I'll say this: when I think Love, Simon, I think both Strawberries and Cigarettes prominently featured in this film. I don't think I saw a single character light up. I'll be honest.
No, these were very, very good kids.
Yeah.
Like, they went to a party and got drunk once, presumably ever in high school.
I was a little mad because the parents were like, well, he's home before curfew and he didn't drive home. And I was like, is that all it would have taken for me to drink in high school?
Probably, yeah. Honestly, probably.
Because I didn't drink in high school.
But it also just, like, that wasn't an important part of the movie. Like, that would have just been an unnecessary scene of, like, parents are mad.
Right.
Because he's got to go have he's got to go have his love moment with Leah where she's like, I love you, Simon. And he's like, I love you too, the band.
When iTunes did that thing, that was a win for me.
Yeah. So that would have just been a weird, like, parents are angry scene. It's not necessary.
Did you guys think you got emails when you were watching the movie?
No.
Oh. I was watching it on my computer with my email open, and I have that sound on. So I thought every time we got an email, I was like, what?
Who's emailing me?
I am always, whenever I watch these modern teen movies that have like, like iPhone overlays and shirt on the screen, that always fascinates me. I'm like, oh, the sounds are perfect. It's like you can just Fortnite, screen cap an iPhone and it'll do it. Like, it takes, I can put that in my vlog. It'd take 30 seconds. Like,
How did they get the sound so
And I'm just
good?
like, every time I'm like, this is just a great piece of like film engineering. And I'm like, it's not that hard. It's like that whole scene in The Fault in Our Stars when Hazel and Augustus are texting each other, and it does like the little 3 dots and the whoosh.
Yeah. But I do that with when I add those sounds to my YouTube videos. Like when I like search the sounds, I'm like, wait, these are like actually accurate. And then I realize you can actually go into a folder and find them. Like there is no.
Right, they're all
they're
there.
already there.
They're all there.
Yeah,
like
someone didn't like re-record them. It's just like taken from.
Yeah, computer code isn't that hard.
No.
I do think I'm ready to be done with screen overlay texting.
I'm not. I still think it's fun and kind of kitschy.
There is no way around it, right? Like that's how you're going to have to show what texting is, unless you're like over the person's shoulder. But like,
and then always in those scenes though, it's like the text is like largely like enhanced, like super large, so that people can actually see what they're writing if it's like a shot. So I feel like
what I hate is when they don't get the rights to like an actual phone company.
Oh,
and it's like because they do this a lot in. I was just rewatching House of Cards recently. They do this a lot in House of Cards where it's like they got like blueberries or whatever, and it's like a phone noise that you don't recognize, and it's just like I get what this is going for, but like it doesn't ping anything in my brain.
No, it's also just like most of the interfaces are.
I'm just waiting for one day one of these Fortnite teen movies has a group chat that's in green because one of the kids has an Android. That is when I will feel comfortable with. That's when I feel comfortable with texting on screen, is when they get that right, because there's always that one person that has the Fortnite Android.
Yeah.
Ethan, are you in our Bourbon Club chat? It's like 20 people and it's blue.
It is blue, yeah, I know, but wouldn't that be if you saw that in a teen movie and it's like he goes to text somebody and then goes to text somebody else and it's green, you'd be like, that's a good.
Or it says like not.
Yeah, your brain would ping that as being like, that's a good detail. Holy shit.
That is a good deal. Like, this is a person who has a vastly different lifestyle because they believe customizing their phone is worth their time rather than trusting a professional to do it for them.
And 99% of the people I know that have Androids, I'm just like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, whatever you say, bud. And then Faishon is like, I've got an Android for these reasons. I'm just like, tell me more.
I deserve an Android.
Sell me on the Google Pixel, please.
Yeah, Vaishon, our graphic designer. By the way, quick shout out, Vaishon. If you, Vegard, or you listener need graphics, Vaishon is affordable, available, and extremely, extremely good.
Damn.
And you need to reach out to him at graphite.vmb@gmail.com, I think.
I
don't know
actually
what his
need
email
a
is.
new header, so maybe I'll reach
You should
out.
definitely reach out to him.
He can match old graphic designers. So if you worked with somebody in the past, he can do designs inspired that way, or he can do something fresh.
We just got back some proofs on some very exciting work he's doing for us.
Yeah.
That's every YouTuber ever. I got some really exciting, guys. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but like I have something really
We do have something really exciting, and we're not going to tell you what it is yet.
Mostly because we don't have all the details.
Right.
We are gathering resources right now.
Currently everything's in the. I mean, it's all going to happen, but it's currently in the this is sort of still ethereal and thing.
I know that feeling. It's
I think once we have a date.
Once we have a date, we will and the graphic.
Being on the other side of like actually when you're a YouTuber and then have something very exciting and you actually can't share it, it's like so annoying because you want to be that person who's like, I have something to share but I can't say what. It's like you want to do that because it's exciting, but then also you don't want to be.
I have like several different things I'm keeping secret from our audience right now, and that's like a lot.
You guys are getting all the teases in this episode.
I have no secrets. I'm having a baby, and it's going to be awesome, and that's all.
You have at least one of the secrets that I have.
I share one of your secrets, but other than that, I'm having a baby. There will be pictures. I'll probably take a few weeks off of the show. That's all I got for you right now.
And I'll replace them.
I know
that's not in the works.
You should definitely come replace Tyler. You are our most requested guest at the moment.
By far. I can't think of anybody else, Europe or otherwise, more requested.
Yay.
Actually, to be honest with you, if I was to rank our most requested guests, and this is going to make Seamus feel bad because people do request Seamus to come back a lot.
Seamus, you are loved.
But I would say it literally goes like Vegard, Sophie, Seamus.
But here's the thing though: Seamus Gorman has been on the show 5 times.
He's also not requested as a guest. It's more like, when will Seamus be back?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Seamus will be on the show in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Without me.
For Toy Story.
Fun.
It'll be
It
me and
feels so
Seamus.
empty without me.
It'll be Bacon and
Shames.
Bacon and shepherd's pie.
Shouldn't it be bacon and beans because it's like British?
Is that what they eat in England?
I have no
beans?
clue. They put beans on
baked
everything
beans.
in England.
Hello.
That is accurate. Baked beans go on everything.
Bacon and chips.
Bacon and crisps.
Yes.
Wait, which one's
Chips is fries.
Yeah. Oh my god, I still am confused by that.
I was gonna say you
When
have
you
you
learned
live
English,
in England
what
most of the time at this
dialect
point.
did you learn?
What?
Yep.
When you learned English, what like slang did you learn? Or what is your native language?
Norwegian, and then we learned American English, but then after a while you start learning more British English, and then you're a mess, and then I moved to England, and now I'm even more of a mess.
So you learned English like in school. Okay.
Yeah.
You say
So
American
like,
English.
What?
When you say American English, what do you mean? Like the class you took with numbers, what's that called?
Wait, what?
The class
Maths.
with math.
Yeah.
Like singular.
there-
One math.
Maths, I think, but that's because I now am influenced
I was
by
gonna
like
say.
British.
Okay.
So now it's a mess because now I can't. But I think it's weird because we speak in an American sounding way, but we learn to write color with U-O or O-U. So
Wild.
we're really messed
That you is
up.
so unnecessary.
It is
But
so unnecessary.
but it's also, I think it's just we learn English for convenience and because it's useful, so we don't really care if it's like a British written and spoken as kind of American. It's more just because it's very useful.
Whenever I see one of the British words that has the extra U in it, I'm just like, color.
Flower.
Favorite.
No, but I like it. I think it looks satisfying when it's like a OU.
Oh no, we got rid of the U. We got rid of you, England. Haha.
Oh my god, no. For those who, because this is not a visual one, Tyler actually dabbed, so you can unsubscribe now.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I did dab on them. Because I got the horses in the back.
Okay, so something's going on. I think the connection is. I think I just have to hang up.
There's a video on our YouTube channel of Ethan singing that song and playing guitar.
There
for
actually
it. So
is,
let's be nice.
Oh, God.
It was like between its current blow up and its original TikTok blow up. It was right in the Oreo center, the creamy
It was
center.
it was right when Billy Ray Cyrus got involved.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. That song bangs.
Yeah, it's really not bad. That's sort of the problem.
That's sort of the
with it.
problem. Is the
Yeah.
first like 14 times I heard it, I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because I'm sitting there like trying to learn the words, and I'm like, this is a conglomeration of words that sort of works. And now it comes on, I'm just like, yeah, old town road time. Let's get turned.
Oh my god.
Let's get lit on my drive to work. I'm kidding. Don't drink and drive. Don't go to work drunk either. All of the above is bad. Just enjoy Old Town Road. Back to Love Simon though.
Yes.
If I was a 17-year-old kid named Simon and people called me Cy, I would not be okay with that.
Oh, the first time I noticed Catherine Langford doing that, I was like, I'm taking the movie out.
Yeah.
This movie's bad. This is not good.
She's like, Cy. And I'm like,
I think that's a cute nickname.
that's like an old man nickname.
Oh, I guess I don't have I don't know the context really like of what it would be like in America for that.
So
like,
we had
nickname,
this
like,
show
oh,
called Duck Dynasty that was on in America, and it was just about the world's most redneck people in the whole world. And there was this
That for a long time were extremely friendly human beings.
Yeah.
And then turned out to be just awful.
and there's this old guy on the show who just says nothing but nonsense, and his name is Cy. I think it's short for Cyrus.
Oh.
But his name is Cy, and it's just that's all I can associate it with is like grumpy old
And
man
also,
with a
do you
3
really
foot long
need to
beard.
It's like also do you need to shorten Simon? Like it's not like it doesn't take that much to say Simon. Like
Exactly.
Okay, Ty.
I went back to Tyler as a grown man. Okay?
Okay.
And you know what? I have a daughter coming, and her name's Olivia, and people keep being like, oh my gosh, Liv. And I'm like, no. I would have named her Liv if I wanted to call
Liv's
her Liv.
not a name. Also, people are going
could
to
be.
call your child things that aren't Olivia. You're gonna have to deal with that. You gave her a name that has lots of nicknames, like Ollie.
Ollie's a great name. I'll take Ollie.
We're not heteronormative in this household. So, Vegard, tell us something. I don't know what. I was told. So I was told that the best way to to be an ally during Pride Month is to give whatever platform I have to somebody in the LGBT community to say what they need to say, even if they already have their own platform. So how would you like to use our platform?
That's cute. I would just say, I should have, just be, this is what I said. I said this actually in a video recently. I think it's very important to be open, to be educated, like, because I don't feel like I'm very, like, in many areas, even in the LGBT community, I'm not educated. And I feel like for LGBT people to be open, to be educated, and to think about the history of LGBT and acknowledge, obviously, the privilege of living in 2019 for a lot of people, obviously, not for everyone. And then take your time and actually, now that it is Pride Month, research and look into some of the history and what people have gone through and what people still go through, because I think that's very important, because a lot of people take Pride for granted as a celebration, and it has been more than that, and it still is. That's all.
Very well said. Very well said.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate what you're doing for the community by wearing crop tops.
Oh, yeah, I know. Like, I'm doing all the... I'm just saying, there's so much strength to denying.
So
like,
strength
honestly,
to being yourself.
Well, no, I'm joking. Like, for me, it's just I don't think I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I just enjoyed crop tops, and that's why I wear them. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, for me, it doesn't have shirt to do with you being a member of the LGBT community. But when I see you wearing a crop top, I'm like, man, that guy's got some confidence. I am proud of that.
I am proud of that.
That is a person doing something I could not do.
That is sort of the conversation that I feel like always happens, where it's very easy to think, if my son or if my friend or if I or whoever likes wearing dresses, then wear dresses, do whatever you want. Yeah. And it's very easy to have that ideal. But when you see it in practice, I think it is not bad by any means, but it is a shift from the way that you think about it, if that makes sense. Like, it's...
I think so, yeah.
Like...
I guess it takes more than just, like, someone saying that it's okay, because I don't know.
To me, it's like, it'd be okay if my friend wore crop tops. But then I see your Instagram, and I'm like, no, it's not okay. It's
Fortnite.
Excellent. This is everything
It is beyond okay.
Right, this is so cool.
Again, it's like I have a lot of friends who exist in the sort of non-normal music scene. So like a lot of my friends wear crop tops. A lot. Even people that shouldn't wear crop tops.
Ethan?
What?
Are you trying to tell us about your crop top collection?
No. But that's my thing, is like when I see Vegard wearing a crop top, it has nothing to do with me being a straight man and him not. It has to do with me being an overweight man and him not. And I'm like, I could wear a crop top. People would be like, people would say things. They would be like, oh man, I'm so proud of you for, body positivity and whatever. But it's like, nobody needs to see that. No. Nobody wants to or needs to see me wear a crop top. And that's just what I'm doing for the world here. It's like I could make a statement, but like I don't need to. No, we're good.
When we get to the point of body positivity for overweight white men, that's how you know.
That's how we know we fixed every other problem.
Right, like that's the point where it's like nobody else is disparaging guys. This is excellent.
That's my chance. Cool. I can finally wear my crop tops.
But until then, Ethan, I hope that you just wear a full-length t-shirt.
Yeah, full-length t-shirt. Yep, definitely. That's what I'm going to stick with. What I really want is like a t-shirt, and I can speak for a lot of guys here, I think, overweight or not. What I want is a t-shirt that remains where it is when I raise my arms.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
I would say as soon as we figure out the pockets for ladies thing, that's the next
if
move.
I stretch upward, I'm wearing a crop top. And that's just all there is to it.
I'm like a serial yawner, and I go to work, and I wear a size... Vegard, do I look like a large man to you?
No.
I wear a size large shirt, and if I like stretch at work, boom, belly button.
Oh,
navel,
you know what?
for
also,
everyone.
That's a problem with me with crop tops. If I do this, suddenly I'm showing off my nipples. So, shirts should stay in
it's just we gotta figure that one out. I don't even know what the answer is. And like it happens if I'm wearing like a dress shirt too, and I'll have it tucked in, and I'll go to like stretch or yawn or whatever, and I gotta like retuck my shirt.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
They do make like garter belts for men that you can like suspend your shirt to the fat part of your calf or your thigh.
Yeah.
And then it's a treat when you like undress for everybody. It's like,
here's
there's a lot
my
going
thing,
on
is they made
there.
those shirts. They started making those shirts. It was that company called Untuck It, and it was like
this is the dumbest idea I've ever.
Button-up shirts.
Let Let me talk.
I'm talking.
Okay, fine.
I've heard a lot of podcasts sponsored
They're
by that.
button-up shirts made to not be tucked into your pants because I've totally put on a button-up shirt and been like, I wish this was shorter. Ever. It's
the dumbest freaking idea I've ever heard. You know what button-up shirts are not made to tuck into your pants? Most casual men's shirts. Most. I would say, unless it's like specifically a dress shirt, unless it's sized with a number, it is not meant to be tucked in.
You can tuck it in. You're not going to die. But
like I feel like that's weird also because those shirts that are not meant to be tucked in are also cut differently. They're so straight and they also don't like have that much room to tuck in. So I don't know what their branding is.
Their branding is
I don't know.
Their branding is
like,
for the casual man who never tucks his shirt in.
Yeah, let me tell you, if I'm at work and it is I've been in casual I haven't worked there all year, but we've been in casual dress the whole year because we keep hitting our sales goal. Go team. But when we go back to dress shirts, when we eventually miss a sales goal, if I walked in with a shirt not meant to be tucked in, I would be asked to go home and change.
Really?
Yeah. If I didn't tuck my shirt in, if I just came into work untucked with a shirt that just cut right there at my belt, they would be like, Tyler, you look like an idiot.
My last job, I had to wear
a
a tucked in shirt 4 days a week.
Oh, I'm glad I can literally work from my bed, like in my pajamas.
At 20, I could too, but well, no, I couldn't. I wore tux to work every day when I was 20. But
since we've talked about LGBT and all that, tucked and untucked for me, like, is like so weird because it's like the drag thing, you know, in the LGBT community.
No, I don't know. Did we just have a very wild conversation using terms I'm not aware of?
Yes. Well, if you were thinking about it that way, because tucking is like.
I've watched enough Drag Race.
Bits in between your legs with tape.
Oh, I've never heard
now,
of that
if my
before.
job had any sort of comment on that whatsoever, I would be a rich man right now because I would have sued the living Fortnite out of them.
Anyway, we do need to wrap up. Let's put Love, Simon on our big board.
Okay. Where's it go?
Yeah.
I need to pull up the drive so that I can
Tyler,
find out.
I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
It's better than Bumblebee.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay.
Means more.
Yeah, it's important.
Bumblebee not important. I mean, it's important because like Haley Steinfeld, right?
But
and the same dude that was in this movie.
But it's not like about anything.
Right. Correct. Let's see. My Drive movie rankings. I know we talked about it last week. There's high demand for breakfast food, so it's up to you guys to get me to not say sausage for this film.
This is just everything you can get at Waffle House.
It is.
This is our chance. We didn't even talk about Waffle House. This is our chance to talk about Fortnite. Waffle House in the podcast, and we missed it.
I know, and we legitimately don't have time. Is it better than Miracle?
Yes.
Princess Bride.
Yes.
Toy Story.
That's a toughie. It's a toughie.
Which one? The first one?
First one.
Yeah.
Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Didn't watch it. Yeah.
Batman Begins.
This is oh man, this list is getting out of control again. This list is getting out of control again.
I feel like I feel like it has maybe more of an important message than it being a very like good film if you take away all the lessons and all that.
Oh, Love, Simon definitely has a more important message than Batman Begins.
Yeah, no, that I mean like it's not like as good of a film as it has a good message.
What do you think, Tyler?
Yes.
You think yes?
I think it comes down to like the list is supposed to be subjective rankings from our perspective.
Well, so
and for me, as much as I love this film, I would rather sit down and watch Batman Begins.
I would rather sit down and watch this, but I would not rather sit down and watch. I would pick this over Batman Begins, but not over The Dark Knight or
we
or
got
Dark
a
Knight
ways
Rises.
to go before The Dark Knight.
What's above Batman Begins?
Ocean's 11.
Yeah, no. I'd rather watch Ocean's 11.
I know. I could watch Ocean's 11 anytime.
I would put this above Batman Begins.
All right.
Yeah.
I do want to note, Ethan, Endgame is not on our big board right now. Was that better than The Dark Knight?
I don't remember. Probably. I don't know.
I think it was. So that puts that at the top of our list. And then Dark Knight, and then Jurassic Park, and then Captain Marvel, and then Us, Toy Story 3, How to Train Your Dragon 3, Interstellar, Toy Story 2, Dark Knight Rises, Get Out, Ocean's 11, Love, Simon.
Okay. Well, let's just wrap it up then.
All
Vegard,
right.
any final thoughts? Thank you for coming on the show again, by the way.
Thank you for having me. It was so much fun. I feel like I kind of get more of the podcast vibe now. I feel like I'm more, I don't know. I was a little bit nervous last time, but it was just so much
It's like
fun.
talking to an old friend.
And
so
it's a movie
flattering.
I really love, so.
But yeah, you are welcome anytime you want to come. If there's a movie that's coming out that you want to talk about, just hit us up.
Amazing. It was so much fun.
Granted, if
Thank you for
you're
having me.
in Norway, it might come out like a long time after, so we might have already covered it, but
Right. I'm coming back to England now in like next week, actually.
Oh,
So,
okay. Gotcha.
yeah.
Fair enough. Tyler, any final thoughts?
I really genuinely love this
do
movie.
too.
And if you
Same.
are gay or bi or feel like there's something you can't talk to your parents about, I pray to God your parents are as cool as Jeff Duhamel and Jennifer Garner in this film.
Josh Duhamel.
Whatever. That's what I said. That's literally what I thought. But I said, I was thinking Jennifer Garner, and then I said Jeff, and I was like, well, I guess
The
we're
only
going
reason
from
I know
here.
how to pronounce that dude's name is because Aziz Ansari said it one time in a stand-up special, and I was like, that's how that's pronounced.
That's how you do it, okay. Oh my God.
Anyway, you can find Vegard. Where can we find you?
On social media, it's Vegard, and on YouTube as just Vegard, so Vegard. Yes, that's my real name, as a lot of people questioned it recently.
We have actually questioned that on this show. I
Yeah,
had no
it's
idea.
true.
I thought it was a made-up word. I thought it was like a spell in Harry Potter I wasn't aware about. Like,
Vegardium Leviosa.
Oh, why has no one said that before? Merch.
That would have been a
I'm
better
making
name than
merch.
Wise Hufflepuff. I'm just gonna be real straight with you, buddy.
Oh, well, we don't talk about that anymore. That's left behind.
Fair enough. Well, you can find me on Twitter at WowNow, but the O's are zeros. You can find me on Instagram at, I almost said Carlin. Nope, that's not me. You can find me on Instagram at Baconandeggsmedia. You can find Tyler on Instagram and Twitter at Carlin. You can find the show at Bacon and Eggs Pod. This episode's been brought to you, as always, by Carlin Brothers Coffee. Always a one.
They're amazing.
Other words. I say things. Our logos and graphics are by Graphite, also known as Vaishon. You can find him on Instagram at graphite.vmb. Our music is by the lovely Andrew Scott Bell at andrewscottbellmusic.com or Andrew Scott Bell on Twitter and Instagram. I think that's all we talk about, and Tyler has to go to work, so I'm just going to go ahead and say that's good. Oh, join us on Patreon. You can join the Discord. It's only $3 a month, and it's super, super, super awesome. Go to patreon.com/bacon and eggs, and you can get access to all the cool stuff we have over there. Anyway, I've been Ethan Edgehill. He's been Tyler Carlin. Him over there in Norway, it's been Vegard.
Yeah.
Thank you for potting with us, and until next week, arrivederci.
Red Rover, send Kelsey Ellison over.